What can you do at the state level to help heal the unhealthy political divisions and discord that has developed in our country?
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest things one of the biggest reasons that I'm running. I think people across this district believe that no matter who you are or where you come from or what you look like or what you do for a living, if you work hard, you should make it. And I do think that there are a few people at the top that are purposely dividing communities like ours in order to rig the economy for their own gain and leaving the rest of us to fight over the scraps. And I think that's where division comes from in our community. So if we're going to have strong leadership, it's going to be leadership that's going to take on greed, that's going to take on corruption, and that's actually going to show up across the community. This isn't an us versus them fight. This isn't a left versus right fight. We are all in this together, employers and workers. We need each of these people in our community to be supported, to be able to thrive. And that means we need state level policy that supports not just workers and not just employees, but make sure that we reduce the cost of living, that we provide the necessary healthcare and schools and housing so that everybody has access to a better life here in North Central Washington. And I think that's how you reduce the divides that are, ramping up across our communities.
Thank you. Keith, same question to you. What can you do at the state level to help heal the unhealthy political divisions and discord that has developed in our country?
Well, at the state level, as was mentioned, we have a one-party system. So the things that we see at the state level are really, that's something that we're working to try and correct. That's what, our party, the Republicans, have been doing. I do not believe in the strong partisanship. I think there is a good reason to have, the different parties because we come at things from a little different perspective. But there should be an opportunity for us to reach across the aisle, and that's been, my goal all the while I've been in public service is to always listen to the people who are not in agreement with me, so that I may understand better what their issues are. Because if I'm, thinking that I have all the answers, and I don't incorporate, someone else's viewpoint, then I really am short-sighted, and I'm not being a very good representative. So I think that that's what we need to do as representatives is to work across the aisle to be the best that we can be to make the state of Washington better.
Thank you. And I believe, Adrianne, you had your hand raised for a rebuttal. 1 minute.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that we need a diversity of opinions in Olympia. And I also think that that's not what we have from our district right now. That said, I've worked with all of our representatives. I've worked with our Senator Brad Hawkins. I've worked with Mike Steele. And I've spent some time with our Representative Keith Goehner here. And, one of the things that I've really admired about Mike Steele's representation is that he's worked across the aisle over and over again to get things done in Olympia. And what we've seen in Keith's voting record is that he sides with his voting record is deeply partisan. He always votes with the party bloc. He hasn't worked across the aisle in Olympia. I've spoken with many legislators in Olympia who say that because we're not working across the aisle, because he's not working across the aisle, he can't get things done. And I think that's a disappointment. I think we need people who not only will say that they'll bridge divides, but who actually do it when it really matters. And right now, it really matters.
Thank you. Keith, I noticed you had your hand raised for a rebuttal.
Yes, and I appreciate the opportunity to really talk about what I have done in the 2 sessions that I've been in Olympia, and that is working across the aisle. It's interesting that even on environmental issues that Representative Joe Gibbons, Gail Tarleton, they were both on board with the hydro bill that I had. The other bills that I've sponsored I've had bipartisan support because that's the only way we're going to get anything done. So I guess, you can say that someone's partisan, and quite honestly, when I just got my rating, it showed that I didn't vote, with the party the whole time because, we do have the flexibility within our party to vote our conscience. And I didn't vote every time with the party because we had a variety of things. And so, to me, that's part of good, thoughtful, lawmaking is to think it through and not necessarily just be in lockstep with the